and caregivers as well. I've been volunteering for over a decade with a local nonprofit that provides complementary therapies to cancer patients and their families, and that's where I really was able to help hone my practice and my particular role of being a cancer specialist within the realm of energy work. So I also work at a local hospital too, in the cancer center, working alongside patients who are actively receiving treatment. So oftentimes I'll go in, check my schedule, and I'll be seeing people in the infusion suite as they're actively receiving chemotherapy, or before or after their radiation treatments. A lot of people don't necessarily know specifically what Reiki is and how it can benefit them. So right away I'd like to say that Reiki is not massage. There is no physical manipulation of the tissues as part of standard treatment. Of course, Reiki can blend quite beautifully with massage. I mean, who wouldn't like to get rubbed and then bask in the glow at the same time? So Reiki complements a lot of other modalities such as acupuncture, massage, even your radiation treatments, your medications. Reiki's been found to have quite an astounding effect on biological processes within the human body. For instance, there are a number of studies done that show that simple energy-based therapies can reduce the bystander effect of radiation by 30%. So you can actually protect healthy tissues from the residual effects of radiation and preserve those healthy structures as well. They've also found that Reiki has been able to interfere with cancer cells' ability to replicate, interfering with the mitochondria and actually the cell's division, interrupting that process. So it's pretty amazing that there is this very gentle, very easy to practice technique that can have such a profound effect on people's treatments. So oftentimes people say that their cancer isn't necessarily the actual diagnosis, and the issues that brought them in for diagnosis isn't the worst aspect of their experience with this cancer journey. Sometimes it's the side effects of the actual treatment itself, the nausea, the fatigue, the bone pain that can happen with chemotherapy, radiation. And so Reiki dovetails quite nicely with these Western stances on how to protect and preserve health without interfering with each other. Reiki is kind of the perfect complement to many other forms of treatment because it helps to reinforce homeostasis. People ask, how does Reiki work? It's just energy, right? Well, what it does, that energy invigorates your system, your cells, your tissues, so that way they can be healthy in their expression and that the cell divisions can happen in a natural and healthy way. So Reiki reinforces homeostasis. You got high blood pressure, it helps even it out. You got low blood pressure, it helps bring it up. So I deal with people who have a myriad of issues going on, and Reiki's not just physical. It also works very profoundly on the mental and emotional aspect of one's well-being. Has anybody ever gotten really ill before and the people that you thought you could always count on kind of disappear because they don't know what to do? That happens a lot to people, especially with cancer diagnoses. I've known a number of people who their spouses have left them because the outlook does not look so good. And so that crippling abandonment and those deep emotional traumas that can result are oftentimes a core component of the work that I do with people. So Reiki, for those of you who are joining us just a little bit late, is a Japanese form of energy healing. The term Reiki stands for universal life force energy. The ki component is synonymous with prana, or chi, or pneuma in other traditions, mana as well. And so it's basically the binding life force that is a product of life processes. It's a residual effect just from life happening. So as a practitioner, I'm working with these energies and not my own. So oftentimes people ask me, are you depleted, after a treatment? Does it drain you? Do you take anything on from the client or the recipient? And the answer is no, never. I am a clear, perfect channel for that energy to come through, and actually every time I give a treatment, I receive one at the same time. So it's nourishing to both be in a space of giving and also to help people receive. So Reiki works similarly to acupuncture in the same energetic systems, but instead of using needles to stimulate that system, it's a very light or gentle touch that works to stimulate and invigorate those energetic places. So in a sense, I am the needle, and that's kind of cool. You know, I can direct the energy and very consciously go in and focus and treat very specific things with people. You know, I have patients that I see who have, you know, carcinoma at the base of the tongue. They're getting radiation directly to the face and the throat. The mucositis, the sunburn that you get from the radiation inside of your mouth, completely obliterates your ability to produce healthy saliva, which nourishes those tissues. So very quickly and very rapidly, you can start working with somebody and can get an increase in salivary function within 5 to 10 minutes. And it's, you know, working on a specific acupuncture point right here on the liver meridian. It's very, very fast and very instantaneous, and a lot of people find Reiki to be a very deeply pleasant experience. It's usually experienced as a gentle warmth or mild tingling, and almost everybody relaxes like right away. So part of the cancer treatment that people receive, they can get crippling fatigue, so they have to take like a 6-hour nap in the middle of the day if they get their treatment early on in the morning, and then they're up for the rest of the night, but they're still so tired they just can't shut down and actually relax into the space of sleep. So, you know, Reiki works in being able to help them relax, helping to bring balance to that crippling fatigue, and actually invigorating the system to have increased energy but in a relaxed way. Most people say that they're calm and clear, and I think that that's one of the nicest things to hear coming out of a treatment with somebody. So I have yet to find a way in which Reiki has not been able to help somebody. A little Reiki is better than none. So even if you just have an opportunity to sit with somebody for a couple minutes, you're getting a dose of life force energy, which your body needs to replenish itself and to work and operate effectively. Standard format going into the hospital, I review a person's chart, I see specifically what's going on with their diagnosis, what types of treatment they're undergoing, but then I also have an excellent dialogue with that person. Because Reiki works based upon intention, I firmly believe that setting goals and intentions with a client maximizes the effect of the treatment. So I dialogue with my patients. I say, you know, what's going on for you today? What's been going on with you since the last time we've worked together? And things may have changed, they may have developed a little bit, and, you know, one day it might be physical pain, another day it may be, you know, inability to sleep. So the Swiss Army knife that Reiki is really excellent, and I've actually started teaching other medical personnel at the hospital that I work at. Unfortunately, I can't say which hospital because I'd have a person sitting with the clipboard right there scrutinizing me, but that's okay. So anybody who's had any experience with energy work usually has had kind of a profound experience. It's a very different type of sensation that you feel and that you experience, and a lot of people find that initial experience is what keeps them coming back, looking for more. Think of like the first time a song ever gave you like deep chills that really like spoke to your soul. Oftentimes an experience with energy work is very similar, that type of deep resonance that you feel something is working really well for you or not. So Reiki as a spiritual practice has actually become very nicely integrated into the medical community, and a lot of medical personnel are practitioners even though they're not openly practicing. Sometimes you may get a nurse who will hold your medication for a little bit longer, and that may be them actually trying to offset some of the negative side effects that potentially could occur, or making sure that you're going to have a good experience with that medication. I have patients who want me to Reiki their bags of chemo before they get it because it makes them feel better about it. And the whole reason why the hospital is actually having this type of program and welcoming Reiki and energetic practices in is because they're starting with this belief of, if it does no harm, why not? If somebody somewhere is finding benefit out of it and it has no potential for harm for them, why would we deny patients that a chance to receive benefit? A lot of people scoff at it and say, well, that's just placebo, you're just inviting placebo to occur. But I believe that placebo is actually an energetic effect. The goodwill of a person administering something that could be a placebo, as well as the expectation of the person taking it, that's an energetic dialogue. Every thought, every intention, every emotion that you have is suffusing and interacting with all aspects of an interaction. Conversely, there's something called the nocebo effect, which is where your doctor might say, well, we could try you on this experimental medication, but it doesn't look like it's helping people, and I don't think you're going to have a good response. That's your expectation taking that medicine, and on some level you're manifesting that experience and they're helping you to do it. So I ask everybody to have an open mind and to be welcoming to new experiences without judgment. Suspend belief and judgment until after the fact. I've had people who are in their 80s as patients, people who have been like very devoutly religious, and they have no frame of reference for what I'm doing, and they have really profound experiences. And that's very powerful for a lot of people, to go their entire lives not acknowledging something as being possible at all until they're at their last resort, and then finding that that's really what can make a difference for them. So anybody at any stage of their health with anything they're going on, if you think it maybe could help you in some way, explore it. Talk with somebody who knows about it and see, you know, what's going on. See how it can work for you, how it's worked for other people. That's how cannabis has gotten to where it's been, because people have tried it for all kinds of different medical, you know, issues as a last resort, you know, breaking laws in many states just to get their medicine to feel better. And we scoff and we laugh and think, you know, that CBD is illegal, you know, in some places, or that THC is illegal, when those are the compounds that are really working for us. So it's about changing the paradigm and changing our expectations of how we have to receive our help. You know, Big Pharma likes to try and control everything. Even the hospital that I work at is trying to control the ways in which I do treatments for people. And I'm okay with working around it right now, because my goal is to actually bring in full integration of Eastern and Western medical practices, because we have excellent results from both sides. You know, Eastern medicine has been practiced for thousands of years in very much the same way until the Cultural Revolution in China, where they reformatted it a little bit, but it still has the same core tenets, the same philosophies of energy being an integral part of our health. You know, even on a quantum level, if we really want to go there, what is a drug? You know, a pill that you take. It's a perfect chemical structure, a crystal in a sense, oriented in a specific way. And so because of that perfect chemical structure on a quantum level, it's vibrating at a super consistent rate, its atomic structure. What is a crystal that you use for healing work or meditation other than a consistent chemical structure vibrating on the same way? And these energy-based therapies are vibration. It's energy that's going in on a quantum level and interfacing and resonating and harmonizing with different people's energy and the expression of that. So if you're going in with a vibration of health and vitality to a person who is not experiencing that for whatever reason, you're bringing them up to a level. You're meeting them where they're at and helping to increase that effect and well-being. Anybody curious to see how Reiki's actually done? Yeah. I have a lovely volunteer here, so come right on up. And so Reiki doesn't necessarily need physical contact to be done, and it can be very quick and very instantaneous. And her name's Ellen. Ellen, yeah. So Ellen is going to be my lovely recipient here, and we're actually going to give you the mic, so that way you can just say some of the sensations that you feel. It's a little bit windy up here, okay, but we'll see what you go with, okay? I'm going to start with what's known as a biosyn scan, which is basically getting a read for how the energy is presenting. You can interpret that medically as the way in which your nervous system is producing its bioelectric energy. If you have disease in an area, neuralgia, anything like that, your nervous system is responding to that and is producing a very weak electromagnetic field. In Reiki, you're actually going in and sensing what's going on, finding areas that feel stuck, hot, you know, stagnant, things like that, and going in and bringing about a change. So, I'm going to have you step right on over. All right. Just face out that way.
It's really calming. Relaxing.
Do you have anything going on emotionally for you that like you've been grappling with the past couple days?
Well, I think it's also like taking a time to be silent. That moment of mindfulness kind of makes you really think about, well, what is it that you've been thinking about or trying to really not think about. So, yeah, and you know, when it's quiet and the lights go out, yeah, it's what you think about.
So actually get your hands on now.
Okay.
So you just relax, just help you push your feelings. Okay if I touch your stomach?
Go for it. feel his calming energy. I know he's not a threat, and he's doing something nice, and in return, that kind of feels euphoric and uplifting. And also what you worry about, like moving or your job or people passing away, it's kind of like, all right, you're here. As he's doing Reiki, I'm thinking about myself, not in a selfish way, but in a, have I taken care of myself? When was the last time I actually checked in with myself or my body or my life, instead of just being on autopilot? But I don't feel anxious, I just feel relaxed. And thankful. It's really nice what he's doing. I suppose I don't have to worry. I feel good. I feel kind of relieved, I don't know why. I'm thankful Katie and Paul are here. I love you guys. I think about your good energy, and I think about his good energy, and your good energy, and Catherine's good energy, and it's just a lot of good energy. Okay. Thank you very much. That was wonderful.
So that's just a little visual demonstration. Reiki is very gentle. It's appropriate for anybody at any stage in their health. You don't have to physically touch somebody. A lot of people ask, well, if I have a burn, what are you going to do for that? I'm going to work up here and not actually touch it for anything. So it looks like I'm not really doing anything. But you're interacting with a person, you're interfacing with them, and with their energy. All thoughts are energy. The fact that we exist and we stand here and we have like a physical form just means we're really dense energy. But there's so much more energy that actually makes up who we are. Like I said, our nervous system produces this entire bioelectric field around us. I use it in my medical documentation. Bioelectric energy field, beef. You know, where's the beef? A lot of people call the bioelectric energy field your aura. A lot of people are familiar with auras. In the medical field, I can't say aura because people think I mean migraines and visual disturbances. But, you know, the ability to be able to set intentions with a client is huge. So working on a mental or emotional level, working on a physical level, you know, working on a spiritual level, because sometimes people, you know, really grapple with, you know, I've been a good person my whole life. I've cared for myself, my family, my neighbors. I've tried to do good by the environment, the planet. Why do I have cancer? You know, they feel slighted by the universe. That's a really dark place that people can go into. So being able to touch those places that are hurting, be it physically, emotionally, or the soul, and to touch them with compassion is extremely profound. I forgot what I was going to say. What was that? Yeah. So does anybody have any questions so far about anything? I mean, I'm kind of trying to throw like a whole philosophical paradigm at you guys in terms of like, you know, medicine and how we can improve it. But does anybody have any questions? I'd be happy to answer them. Does anybody else want to come up and feel it? I've been practicing Reiki for 20 years, actually since the age of 7. Sorry, what was that? So my mother actually learned Reiki to help my sister who had a recurrence of leukemia when I was 6 years old, and I saw that it was able to really help fortify her against the fatigue and the just the extreme exhaustion that she was going through from the anemia and all of her treatments and everything. And so my mom came home from her first class and demonstrated to me and my siblings and said, "Here, you want to feel this?" And as soon as I felt it, I said, "Whoa." I felt it. And I begged her to teach me how to do it. So that's what I got for my 7th birthday, was I sat through an 8-hour adult-style class because she wasn't taught how to teach children. And so basically that was the start of my 9-year familial style apprenticeship from level 1 to master teacher. And so I've been practicing at the master teacher level since July 31st, 2007. So that's how I am here now. Thank you. So it's a system that anybody can learn how to use and to begin interacting with. I literally left a class, self-care Reiki class for cancer patients and caregivers, where we're just empowering people to literally feel like they have a semblance of control over what's going on with their bodies, going on with their energy, and helping them. If they feel pain, do something about it, you know? That initial desire and instinct to hold the places that hurt show us that we have energy that we're able to apply. You know, think about if you ever fell and skinned your knee, your mother would come up and put her hands right on it and it would start to feel better, Yeah, or, anything, you bang your toe, you grab your foot and you hold it. Or even kissing, the places that hurt. That's putting emotional energy into a place for physical benefit. So I'm gonna give you a little taste of some energy, and then just if you feel anything, just share it with the people who are here. Okay, we're just gonna do a little sensation in the hand, see if we can get some good sensation going. Okay.
Cold. Totally bad.
So what temperature are my hands right now?
Oh,
My hands are very
freezing,
cold?
freezing
Okay.
cold. Oh my God. We should give him a coat. Radiant heat.
Talk us through it. You okay?
Stay comfortable. Yeah. I've been the comforter for so long.
Very welcome. Thank you. Anybody else want to come feel a little bit of the glow?
Yeah.
You look like you know a thing or two.
No, I know nothing. I know Ellen Brown, and she was my professor in college. She was my
Oh, excellent. Step on up.
You don't know anything.
My hands are very cold.
Oh, yeah.
Colder than yours. I'm sure.
Yeah, right.
You mind sharing your experience?
Yeah, my hands just opened up widely. They still are on their own, just from the energy he's passing through me. And then they're going to close again. It's like a little water gate. Burst of the energy going out to all of you.
What does the energy feel like?
It's a healing. And if you all feel, breathe in, healing through your nose and exhale, we can have a little session going on. That's what I thought. Bill Flynn just had a 100-year anniversary a few weeks ago, so we all met up at Spurge, and the first thing he did was grab my hand and put it right on his belly and said, "Here, touch me." Okay, for the weekend it didn't bother me.
Good. Anybody else want a little taste? It's something you really have to feel. It's kind of profound. And so Reiki's even really good for people who have like fibromyalgia and they can't necessarily stand being massaged very deeply either, or where physical touch can be like pretty extreme for them, where there's hard to reach places. There's ways of getting the blood to actually undulate within the tissues to decrease inflammation and to cause relaxation to an area. Here, let's switch spots so you get the mic.
Switch sides.
Yeah. How cold my hands are? Nice, right? Do what?
Put your hands up.
I was standing out here. Be like this, please.
I feel warmth and tingling. Feels really gentle and transformative. Your presence, man.
I've had the pleasure of growing up and developing with Reiki as a core component of my life, and so, I mean, from the age of 7 until now, 20 years, it's a long time to be doing something. So think about it in terms of a skill, you know, like let's say a person takes piano lessons as a child. That doesn't make them necessarily a master pianist. It's time, it's practice, it's putting the effort and the work in. So through that, not all practitioners are created equal. You know, we're only as good as we practice. Practitioners, it's in the name. So even if you've had an experience with Reiki before, another energy modality, and it wasn't necessarily like the right fit at the right time for you, don't let that be the stop for you. Seek out those extra, you know, other people to practice, sample it, you know. It's the same way that one massage therapist might really be able to get in and work with your body versus another who has a little bit harder time because of a stylistic difference. So I feel really blessed and really honored to be able to offer my healing services to the community, and specifically the cancer community. And I'm really looking forward to hopefully partaking in some research with MGH and helping to change and start having that information out there. Doctors are starting to recommend acupuncture left and right for a lot of things that people don't want to take medication for, and they're finding benefit as a result. Reiki is just right behind it, you know, and other forms of energy healing. So when in doubt, seek out the glow and the magic, and you know, invite that in for your health and well-being. Again, my name is Kyle Ricci, Reiki Master Teacher, and thank you for having me, and continue enjoying the rest of the beautiful day.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have a cloth? Thank
Perfect.